Privacy rights are also at the center of another media issue playing out in California, where Governor Jerry Brown signed a law intended to crack down on shooting undercover video. It's an issue that's created some strange bedfellows.
We've been very good at getting hard, long liver.
This undercover video captured Planned Parenthood executives discussing aborted fetuses with disturbing callousness, touching off a political firestorm that continues to this day. When the advocates behind the sting got hauled into court, though, traditional media came to their defense.
This could set a dangerous precedent and chill undercover investigations by legitimate journalists.
Now, prompted by the Planned Parenthood case, California's state legislature has just increased penalties for violating state wiretapping laws. Media organizations strongly oppose the bill, saying it would infringe on press freedom and chill potential whistleblowers. Call it a stinging loss. I mean, I think there were good intentions with this because most states, as we've said here, are two-party states. You have to get permission from both parties to record a conversation, and California is one. And Massachusetts is one. Rhode Island is not. So what they were trying to do is protect all the parties involved in this kind of thing. But I think they've reached to the point where basically, I mean, even if it is a two-party state, you got to tell the people. So that's crazy. Undercover video is intended to discover something. People who are committing a crime or involved in some nefarious activity aren't going to say, "Oh, sure, tape me while I'm doing that." That's not going to happen.
This is a terrible law. This is almost a bill of attainder designed specifically to give extra protection to Planned Parenthood that no other organization enjoys. As you say, California is already a two-party state. You have to get permission from somebody before you record them. And what this is doing is that, and if you're doing a healthcare provider, you could get into even more trouble. Well, why? You get into trouble if you don't get permission from the other person before you record them. That is sufficient for this.
Well, I agree, and I think what's hard here is that it's set up to protect the one organization. So opponents of Planned Parenthood, I don't know if Planned Parenthood was pushing this or others on their behalf, can say, well, see, that's why we can't ever get the real truth, because you all are hiding behind bills that other folks have put out there for you. So, that might have a snapback later on as coverage continues. I don't know that that's helpful for them.
I'm sure there'd be unanticipated consequences if we liberalized rules and restrictions governing recording. But the irony is that we're living in an era now when we are all being recorded constantly, right? Video cameras here at WGBH that are turned on every time we walk down the hall. Going outside, there's, as we know, surveillance cameras proliferating in public spaces everywhere. All our email exchanges are recorded and documented, whether or not we're giving our permission. So this almost feels kind of antiquated to me, and to see something that seems like an anachronism beefed up is odd. And I also think bad for investigative journalism.
Yeah. What was the case? And you may know that it was, I believe it involved ABC, the investigation. Food Lion case. And that was the hidden camera. And
all the bad meat and all the spoiled meat they were selling. And
ABC lost that.
They got in trouble for impersonating an employee, not for the undercover video. Yeah. That was the case there, and they ended up paying for that.
Oh yeah, they did. They lost that lawsuit.
That was dramatic.
Chilling impact on journalism that I think had a public interest in carrying it out. So Jerry Brown, I think, found himself on the wrong side of this argument here.
But I think his intentions were good.
Well, perhaps. I don't know that that's. I think actually that piece exposing a very inappropriate comment or comments by someone.
It was horrifying. We all wanted to see that.
And
I was glad that they did that. Even if they ended up manipulating some of the discussion and some of the documents, and they ended up getting called into court, which was eventually dropped. But still, it was worth it.